Okay, hello, welcome to week 2 of Attraction Equation. I want to just jump right in because let me get my slides up. I have a lot to share with you today on how to optimize your Instagram profile so that you can gain followers. And I have a lot of things to say about your profile and gaining followers. The first thing I want to say is I think everyone knows that my primary Instagram account went down a little over a week ago, and I did get it reinstated yesterday. So, you can, Emily Tassoni _ is my main account. But I started putting into practice all of these things we're going to talk about today. And I was already close to 200 followers within like a week's time of starting my new account. So it works. All the things we're going to talk about today, they work if you implement them. And I want you to ask questions as we go, but I'll tell you now your homework, and there's never a due date to the homework. It's just to give you action steps, basically, of how to use the information we talk about. But your homework is to take what we're going to talk about today and implement it. So go in and actually update your Instagram profile, and then you can send it to me and I can give you feedback on it. I'm also going to, in the wrap-up email, send you a link. I had sent it out a week or two before we started, but as a reminder, I want to send it out one more time, a feedback form. So I need you to take like 5 to 10 minutes to tell me a little bit about you and your business and give me more insight into what you need guidance on, so that as I'm preparing each presentation, I have a deeper understanding of what each of your needs are, because each of you have different businesses and you're in different parts of the world. And that will just help me to tailor some of the content to give you more in-depth guidance. So that link will also be in the wrap-up email. And if you could take, 5 to 10 minutes to tell me a little bit more about your business in that feedback form, that it will be a benefit to you as I'm creating content for us. Okay. So what does it mean to optimize your Instagram profile? I'm so glad you asked. So your profile is what somebody lands on when they navigate to your Instagram page. That's your profile. And why do you need to optimize it? First of all, it's free real estate. It's free advertising, and it's there to further intrigue and attract your ideal client once they land on your profile. I realize I'm repetitious here with 2 of these bullet points. It helps to attract them. And then once they're actually on your page, there's information there to give them more insight into why they should follow you. And we're going to talk about what all those pieces look like today, because each part of your profile has a strategic opportunity for you to offer information that someone would be looking for once they land on your profile. So I want you to think about your own experience of looking at other people's profiles. And before I take us to the next slide, I'm going to plug my phone in and show some examples. Okay, so let's go to, I'm totally going to pick on my sister-in-law. Okay, so I go to my sister-in-law's page. She makes these amazing hand-woven goods, right? And so East Parlor is the name of her business, but that doesn't really tell me anything here in this field, which we're going to talk about is your name field. And that field is search engine optimized. Okay, so East Parlor, that's the name of her business, but what does she offer? She tells us a little bit here: small batch hand-woven goods for you in your home using all natural and sustainable fibers. Okay, that's a great explanation. Some of that would have been great up here because this is search engine optimized for the search field on Instagram. It can also show up in Google searches and in other places. And then she has, if you want to do custom work, send an email here. This is not necessarily terrible, but there's no hyperlink here. And you want to actually have a call to action right here, which we'll talk about. She does have highlights, which are great. We're going to talk about those. She doesn't have any pinned posts. We're going to talk about those. And, she's product based, obviously. So, if you're a service provider, as you're scrolling, it might look a little different. So like a service provider, I'm just going to use mine for ease right now. As you're scrolling, you have an idea of like what each post is about. And you can do that with products as well. She could have something on here that's like, something like this is a scarf or a table runner or a wall hanging, but for the most part, product pictures. Okay. And then when you click on the link, it takes you directly to the website. Now, again, I'm not saying this is a bad idea, but most people are not ready to purchase right away. Okay, so this is great. She has basically her lead magnet is to sign up for her newsletter. My suggestion to her would be to spice it up a little bit and have it be like, sign up for a 10% discount on your first order. That pops up as soon as you go to the website. People are more likely to opt in for a discount than they are for a newsletter. Most people don't want like one more thing coming to their email box. And yes, it says get exclusive offers when you sign up, but the main title is sign up for my newsletter. What if the main title was get this exclusive 10% discount when you sign up? Okay, so simple things that we're going to talk about today. And let me find one more. I'm going to pick on hold on. Let's do okay. I'm totally picking on my friend Jen here. She doesn't have her business totally up and running yet. So I'm gonna, and she and I are working together. But again, right here in her username field, it's just her name. This field, this bold, sorry, name field, the name field is search engine optimized, which again, I'm going to keep repeating that so you remember. Whatever phrases are in here will help your profile to show up in the search engine of Instagram and potentially in Google. This entrepreneur, which identifies what type of professional account you have, you don't need to have that displayed because it just takes up space. Hi, I'm Jen and I love helping others find joy through their gardens. We could definitely wordsmith this. So it says, high altitude gardener helping others with urban garden education for zone 4B, something like that. So we would take all of this, shorten it down, wordsmith it into a phrase or maybe one or two phrases. And then she's missing a call to action and a link. And again, she's working on getting her business up and running, but there's no way for anyone to opt in to email communication or to get a freebie thing from her. She does have highlights, which is great. And there are no pinned posts. Okay, so let me switch my share screen back. So I'm going to explain all of the things I just talked about, and we're going to walk through how to do all this. But the first thing I want you to keep in mind is that when you land on someone's Instagram profile, think about yourself. You want information about, like, say you saw a reel of theirs and you go to their page, you're doing a quick skim. Who are you? What do you do? What value can I get from you? Am I going to follow you? Right? Like, you kind of do that quick skim. So here are some examples of some really great profiles. And you'll see now if it has this @ with a number behind it, that means they have a Threads account that you could click on and it'll take you to Threads, and Threads is an Instagram account or an Instagram app. I'm not going to talk about Threads today. Okay. So first of all, each of them have a username that is simple. Holly with Love, that's the name of her business. Jackie Richards, that's her name. Virginia Kerr, that's her name. Sydney Claire Studio, that's her name and the name of her business. Simple, easy to search and remember. It's either the name of your business or your name. They each have profile pictures that are clear with their face. If you are the face of your business, your face should be there, not your logo. That is my recommendation because people feel more connected to faces than to logos. It doesn't mean that you can't use your logo in other places on your profile. You could absolutely use your logo right here for each of your highlights, but right here, should people connect to people, pictures, to actual like faces more than they do to logos. So each of them have a clear, there's no like funky background, there's no filter on their faces, clear pictures. Their name field, it's very clear what they do. It doesn't just say, it's not just Virginia, it's video marketing coach, IG Reels growth coach, social selling tips, easy makeup, social media management, coaching and mentoring. It gives a clear understanding of what they do, what service or product they're offering. And then in their bio, supporting female-owned service-based biz, grow your IG without overwhelm, hundreds of clients globally, book a one-on-one strategy call. Do you sell something? I teach you to make confident content with your personality. She also sells one compact makeup and does color matches. Get that here. Stop relying on random reels to grow your business, video creation and strategy tips. 20 plus years in video. Here are the trainings and tutorials. Okay, so you're reading each one and you have an idea, accepting new one-on-one clients, tips for organic growth, busting the algorithm, one reel at a time. You have landed on each of these profiles, you know what they're doing, and then you want to learn more. So they have highlights here. This is what a one-on-one call looks like. These are the services I offer. Here are some reviews. Here's, you know, feedback from clients. On Jackie's page, start here, here reviews, start here, podcast, video tips, subscribe, tips, results, work with me. Do you see the theme happening here of showing what you have to offer, showing reviews or testimonials? Start here, which we'll talk about, gives a little bit more information about you and who you are and what you have to offer, how to work with me, about, it could either be a start here or an about me. Let's look at just a few more. Again, simple, like Lauren Taylor, Maya Nicole, Lauren Tilden, and each of their pictures is very clear. Lauren has a product-based business and a service-based business, and she has a business name for each of those, but people remember her, so she went with her name instead of one of the names of her businesses. And again, you'll see they all have a link. They all have information, Instagram growth and social media content strategy, bridging the gap between IG growth and monetization, consistent intentional marketing. They all have highlights. They all have pinned posts, which we'll talk about. Well, Lauren doesn't have pinned posts, but okay. I'm going to come back to these at the end, but I wanted to just give you a quick look over for now. So let's start with the first thing is your account needs to be public, professional, and let me just walk you through what that looks like in case you're like, I don't know how to do that. So when you have a professional account, which hopefully you all do, but if you don't, we're gonna fix that today. Okay, so I'm gonna use my the other Emily Tassoni account. Good Lord. Okay. So if you want to know, I don't know what my account is, so how do I know? You're going to come up to the hamburger menu. You're going to go to settings and privacy. And then you're going to scroll all the way down. This is not giving me the option that I thought it was going to. Of course, here we are live, and it's not doing what I wanted it to do. Let me try it again. Hamburger menu. Settings and privacy. Okay, it should down here at the bottom say, and you would click on that. That will make your account public and professional. Then you get to pick what type of business page it is. I recommend you choose entrepreneur and that you do not display it on your page. So it'll say like display on profile, it'll be a toggle button and you don't need to display that, it just takes up space. So you choose entrepreneur and then you continue moving forward and then it'll give you the option between business or creator and you want it to. That's only because it's going to give you more tools. You'll have access to more tools inside of Instagram. Is it in here? Is that where it is? Maybe that's where it is now in this meta situation. Anyway, once you have it set up as professional entrepreneur creator, you'll see in here this little section that says for professionals, and it says creator tools and controls because you've set it up as a creator account. And then you'll see all the things that you can set up. Add a new professional account, switch account type. Oh, that's where it is now. So you could switch it from personal to business. You want it to be a right now it's a creator account. So don't switch it to business. Don't switch it back to personal. You have it set up. If that's what you get, you have it set up as a creator account. So keep it as a creator. You can connect it to a Facebook page. You can have saved replies set up. There's lots of stuff you can do in here in the creator tools. I'm not going to go into all that detail today, but just know that that is there and available. Okay, so that's the first step. Let me get us back over. If you don't have a public account, people can't find you. So that's why you can set it up as a business page instead of a creator, but again, you have access to more tools as a creator. Okay, so this is all in your workbook, basically a screenshot of this. So if you're like, holy cow, that's a lot to remember, you can either screenshot it now to have for yourself, but it's also in your workbook, which is in the portal. I'm going to walk you through each piece, which I already talked through a little bit with the examples I showed you, but we're going to walk through how to start to optimize them. If this feels overwhelming, take it one step at a time. But you can totally sit down for 30 minutes and do a chunk of it and then come back and do 30 minutes the next day. It shouldn't take you a significant amount of time, but everybody is different. What we focus on, and you know what I'm saying? Okay, so we're going to go through each piece here. All right, first is the username. So when you go in to edit your profile, your username is the @ whatever it is. So like for Katie, hers is @ Violetta Aesthetics. That's the name of her business. Mine is just @ Emily Tassoni_. Each of you have your own username. I recommend highly that it be your name or the name of your business. It doesn't need to be like Susie Healthy Living Simplified or Susie Nutrition Coach in Denver. Keep it simple. How can they find you? Susie Nutrition Coach in Denver. There could be 45 Susies who are a nutrition coach in Denver. How can you set yourself apart? Just have it. It could be Susie Smith _nutrition coach. That could be, if you wanted, your username, because now when they search for Susie Smith nutrition coach, you're going to show up. Make it easy for people to find. Keep it plain and simple. If it's the name of your business, and that's what people normally remember you by, great. Okay, so that's your username. You can change your username whenever you want, as long as someone else doesn't already have that username. So you're not married to it forever if you change it and then you need to update it later. But this is how people will remember you, okay? So like that's how people will remember how to search for you and find you once they start following you. All right, the next part of your profile is your profile picture. I already said this, but I'll say it again. I recommend that it be a picture of you. Unless you are like a multi-person business, you have like 4 or 5 faces in your business, then definitely use the logo, because if you tried to put a picture of 4 of you on there, you wouldn't be able to see your faces. People connect with faces. I know you spent a lot of money on your logos, so did I. Your logos can be used in other places. It can be used in your highlight bubbles. It can be used in the content you're creating. It can be used in your emails. You should have a picture here. There are a variety of ways to create a picture with a clean background. If you are a Canva Pro user, you can use the background remover to remove the background from any headshot picture of yourself. You want to make sure there's no filter on the picture. You want to make sure you can clearly see your face, that it's close enough, you cropped it, that it's close enough you can see your face. If you don't have Canva Pro, there's a website called Slazzer, SLAZZER, where you can remove a background from a picture for free. It does diminish the quality of the picture just a little bit, but it's free to use if you're not a Canva Pro user. Okay, that's your profile picture. The other recommendation I have with your profile picture is that you have the same profile picture across all the different social media platforms that you're active on, because it's just visual recognition, it's repetition. You know, people see your picture here and your picture there, and they know you're the same account. They have no question about it. I would use the same one on all platforms. Okay, the next is your name field. Okay, so the one up here was your username field, and now we're doing your name field. The name field is one of the most important parts of your profile because it is search engine optimized. That means you want to use keywords that your ideal client would be searching for, not necessarily words that you would use to describe your business. You can change the name field 2 times every 14 days. So don't go in and start trying to change it right now. It's also character limited, so you have to figure out exactly what you want to say. But let me plug my phone. Let me pull my phone screen back up and show you what I mean. Okay, so if I go in and search for, well, let's go look at, okay, so Katie's has her name there. I know, Katie, it's because you're here, so I'm using you. So what Katie's could be Katie, and then it could be like an emoji or a slash, preferably not an emoji, a slash, like this key right here, just like a straight line. Okay, is what I'm referring to. So like your name, and then that line, and then it could be Colorado-based esthetician, something simple to start with, right? Because then anyone who's in Colorado, now you could put the actual city if you wanted to, but you could just start with Colorado-based esthetician and skincare. Just leave it at that. Because again, this username or this name field is character limited. You can only put so much in there. But then those are searchable terms. So when I come into the search field here, and you're going to have whatever is showing up here is cultivated based off of what you have looked at and consumed previously. Okay, so what you've searched for, what you've looked at. But if I go in here and search for Instagram growth coach, I show up because that is in my username field. Anyone who has that Instagram growth coach shows up. Do you see how that works? That is in my field, in my name field. So I show up in those searches. Let's say you were doing irregular periods. You're going to get, maybe it is the name of the page, or see, like this PCOS scientist has irregular periods in her name field. So now she shows up. So if I am somebody who's looking for help with irregular periods, I have found her. And now, you know, how am I supposed to work with her? I don't know. Because her profile, right? Like if you landed on this and you were looking for someone to work with, would you want to work with this person? Probably not, maybe, but you're like, I don't even know how to, okay, if I email you, what am I supposed to say? Like, what kind of information do you offer? Okay, so I'm kind of flopping around here. Yes, I will show you how to change it. So let me show you right now how to, so when you're in your profile, all you do is go to this edit profile, click on that where it says edit profile. And then once you're in the edit profile area, you just, whichever one of these you want, you click on it. So for the name field, you would just click on the name field and then you can change it. And it tells you here, you can only change your name twice within 14 days. Okay, that's where you would go to change any of the things we're talking about is that edit profile button. All right. Okay, so the name field. If you're like, I don't even know what to put there to start with, then email me about that when you send me your homework, and I will help you with some suggestions on how to find the terms that your ideal client might be using. Okay, the next section is your bio. So your bio has two parts that we're going to cover that need to be in there. It needs to tell a little bit about who you serve, the outcome that you offer, the services that you have available, and you also need to have a call to action. So this section right here to start with is, what is it that you do? Okay, you're an Instagram growth coach. What does that mean? Practical Instagram strategy that drives organic sales, greater reach, and more followers without overwhelm. A lot of these terms I chose because that's what my ideal client is searching for. How do I get more followers? How do I have greater reach? How do I get sales without ads? I feel overwhelmed. Like, those are words and phrases and questions that have been posed to me over the past year, 2 years, working with clients. So those are the words that I am using. And just as a reminder, that field can look different, right? Like each of these that we looked at previously, they all look a little different. So you figure out what is the best explanation, and you don't have to put all the detail about who your ideal client is, because your ideal client will learn more about whether or not you're a fit for them as they're looking at the rest of your content, because you can't put everything into your bio, okay? Like Holly over here does have supporting female-owned service-based businesses, but the rest of them don't really have much about their, like, my ideal client is a woman over 30 who does blah, blah, blah. It's important for you to know that, but what you're putting in here will speak to them. You don't necessarily have to write out who you are wanting to work with, because your content will show that, and the offer that you have will speak to that ideal client. Okay, where was I? Okay, so that's the bio. You can change your bio whenever you want. There's no like limit to how often you can change it. So the other part of your bio is the call to action. So when you go in to edit your profile in the bio section, you'll be putting both of these things, both this little description about yourself and the call to action. They both go in the bio when you're editing your profile. Your call to action should take your ideal client from Instagram to sign up for your email list, so that in exchange, they get a lead magnet. I cannot tell you, well, I can tell you, of more importance now, when my Instagram account went down, I was able to email everyone on my email list and recover some of my followers. Now, is everyone on my email list like actively reading my emails? No, it's like a 20% open, or about 20% read rate. But having an email list is really important if you are a business owner, because about 5%, your followers on Instagram see about 5% of what you post. Your email subscribers see about 20% of what you send them. So to make sure that your intrigued and interested ideal client is getting the content, you need to have an email list with a strategy there, and you need to have an Instagram profile. And the information you share can be the same. I mean, there are a lot of times I'll create an Instagram post and then I will copy and paste it into an email and just expand on it a bit. And that's the weekly email I send out. Okay. So it's not like you have to do completely different information. The lead magnet that you have to offer, there's so many things. If you're a product-based business, it could be a discount on your first order. It could be, I mean, I highly discourage you from just having people sign up for a newsletter, because as I mentioned when I was picking on my sister-in-law's page, most people don't want to just sign up for a newsletter. They want something. They want something in exchange, especially if you're a service provider. It needs to be something that can show the value you have to offer, how you teach, how you use the information that you're trying to teach them, right? Like a free course, a free recording, a quiz, a checklist, some sort of downloadable document that they can consume and implement and use right away. If you are a service-based business with products, so like say you're Katie, who's an esthetician, you could have like 5 steps to more, what is the word I want to use? Not normal skin tone, but like even skin tone, 5 tips to more even skin tone. And then you can have like the 5 steps, and each step could have a recommendation for a product. And then your contact information is also on there, so they can get in touch with you. You know, you can say, and use this code. So maybe in the free download with the 5 tips, there's a code for a 10% discount, you know, when you place your order because you have this freebie, right? Something like that. So again, your bio, when you're editing your profile, needs to include this part, like, who are you? What do you do? Tell me more. And your call to action. All right, the next is your links, or is your link. This should take them to your free offer. So there's, let me pull this up and show you. So you have a few options right now with how you display your link. So you can either have a link like I have here, that when you click on it, it pulls up a page that is within my website. Okay, so you could have something like this where it's like a link tree. Here are the different options. I have a free thing. And then I have a paid thing and a paid thing. But the free things are first, so that if somebody reads, let me click back over to my main account. If somebody's here and they say free supercharge your Instagram profile and they click on my link, that is the first thing that's there. You don't want them to have to scroll to find it. It needs to be the first thing that right there, so that they can tap on it and then they can sign up for it. Okay. You want to make it as simple as possible for people to get onto your email list. So the other thing you can do now, if you're like, oh, I don't have a website and I don't want to go through like creating a link tree and all that, here's the other way you can do this. You go to edit profile, and then you come down here where it says links. What Instagram has offered now is the option to add multiple links. So let's say you wanted to add a link for this free thing that you're offering. So then you would give it a title, free masterclass. Okay, so you add that one. And then you want to add a link for Instagram Growth Lab. And then let's say you add one more link. Actually, let's go back to this main one that I had. And I'm going to give it a title of work with me. Okay. So now I've added multiple external links. There's not really a need to add a Facebook link and send them from one social media platform to another. I realized I misspelled masterclass, but you don't need to add a Facebook link. Okay, now you're going to go back. We'll say done. Now let's look at how different this looks. Okay, so instead of this just saying emilytassone.com links, now it says that, and then it says 2 others. So then when you click on it, it'll pull up from the bottom with the different links, and they are still hyperlinked. You could click on it and it's going to take you to the sign-in form. So if you don't have a website link like what I have, or if you don't have a link tree set up, you can totally just use the way that you can list different links in Instagram. Does this make sense? Okay. You could have a booking link in there, right? Like Katie and anyone else who has a service-based business, you could have a link in there that says, you know, book a service with me. I wouldn't necessarily have that be the first one that shows up. Again, you want to have whatever the freebie is. But so those are some of the options. Okay. That you can do in regards to your link. I used to teach people to create a link tree, which is a website that you go and set up. But since Instagram has allowed you to do these external links in there, it's much easier. Okay, and this is what Linktree looks like. So again, very similar to like how I have it structured on my website, and you can use it for free, but just use those link options that Instagram offers now. Okay, the next section are your highlight bubbles. So your highlight bubbles should align with content pillars, and give more context to, like, they're kind of like mini websites to teach the people landing on your profile more about what you have to offer, who you are, what it's like to work with you. I will say that I don't necessarily have, I personally have been playing around with not having them align with my content pillars, and focused more on like testimonials, a little bit about each program and what it's like to work with me, tips. So like Instagram growth tips is one of them, which does align with one of my content pillars. Freebies. So you want it to be easy for someone to land on your profile and navigate to learn about what it's like to work with you. So again, let me pull my profile up and show you what I mean. Okay, so if somebody lands on my profile, first of all, you don't want to have too many highlights. I am scrolling over and there's the end. Okay, so like 7 to 10 tops. If I have to like keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling to see all that you have, it's too much. It's like, keep it simple and informative for your audience. Okay, so the ones I have currently: testimonials, threads, and that is just, if I posted something on threads, I'm sharing it over here so that I can get some people from Instagram to follow me on threads and vice versa. Freebies, Instagram tips, start here, Instagram growth lab, and offers. And my offers is going to shift to attraction equation, but that's just what it is right now. So if I was me landing on if I was looking for, a coach like what I do, and I landed on this page, I'd be like, oh, testimonials, what does that look like? And then I have shared testimonials from previous clients, and I can learn about what it's like to work with Emily from these testimonials, right? This is awesome user-generated content, testimonials, so that people looking to learn more about what it's like to work with you can come in here and learn more. Freebies. Oh my gosh, what's the free thing I can sign up for? So if I have shared something in my stories, here's where you can find how to sign up for that free thing in here. Instagram growth tips. I'm usually going to share a post that I made to my stories and then post it in here if it has a tip. Start here. This is where you can teach people about who you are. So this is a reel that shares a little bit more about me. And then also I have a carousel post that gives more detail about me. I shared that to my stories and then put it in the highlight bubble. So when somebody comes here, they can just tap on it and they can navigate to the actual post and learn more about me there. The next one is Instagram Growth Lab. So this is where if somebody's interested in Instagram Growth Lab. So this one is past, right? This one was on June 22nd. So I'm going to delete this one. So here's how you delete out of your highlights. So when you're in here, there are 3 dots in the lower right-hand corner. You would click on it, and then you can go to edit highlight, and you would just uncheck it. It's got that little blue check mark in the bottom. I'm going to uncheck it and click done. And it's just going to take that one out of this highlight bubble. And then this last one is offers, where I have a link to a live that I did that walks through the 4 ways you can work with me. So if somebody is landing on my profile, this gives them a good start to understand what it's like to work with me. Do these have to be the names of your highlight bubbles? No. But it's a good place to start depending on what your product or service is. Okay. Any questions so far? Pinned posts. This is where you can again do a bit more of a highlight to showcase info about you and what you offer, so it's easy to access for your followers or anyone who's landing on your page. So what I have is, and you know it's a pinned post because it's got this pin in the upper right-hand corner, and I'm going to show you how you can pin them here in just a moment. What this means is that these 3 posts, and you can do up to 3 pinned posts, stay at the top of this grid all the time. No matter what else you post in your static feed, these 3 will stay at the top. So anytime you land on your profile, these are the first 3 you see, whether you posted it 2 months ago or yesterday. I recommend that you have one that is like I have, start here or about me, something where they can click on to learn about you. Yes, you have it in your highlight bubble, but maybe their way of learning is they're visually drawn to right here and they want to click right away and they don't want to go into the highlight bubbles. Start here. The second one I have is 4 ways to work with me. If you're landing on my profile and you're looking for an Instagram growth coach, you probably want to know how we can work together. So there it is. And then the third one I have is the free masterclass that I have available right now, and that is pinned as well. So those are the 3 pinned posts. Now here's how you would pin a post. Excuse me. Come on, computer. Okay. So let's say that whether it's a reel or a carousel, it doesn't matter, you do it the same way. So let's say I want to post, I want this one to be a pinned post. Your content is boring. I'm just going to click on that post. And then the upper right-hand corner where the 3 dots are, I'm going to tap there. And you have the option right here that says pin to your profile. That's what you would tap. It's not going to let me because I already have 3 up there. But let's say I want to add that one and it's not going to let me. So I will come up. Here's how you can undo one. So I would go to my start. I would just hold my thumb down on the start here one and then do unpin from profile. So now I only have 2 up there. So then I can go to your content is boring, hit the 3 dots and pin that to my profile. And now it is pinned up there. Okay. And same thing, I can hold down on it, unpin it. And then I can repin the start here. You can only have 3 pieces of content pinned, and you want to make sure they're current and relevant. Same thing with your highlights. I recommend that at least every quarter you go through your highlights and take out anything that's outdated, right? So like testimonials, this is from October 2022, but I'm not going to take it out because it's a testimonial. But if it was like something that was more time-based or time-sensitive, I would remove it from this highlight bubble. Okay. All right. So now one more time, we're gonna, oh, these showed up. Okay. So we're gonna look back at these one more time. Now you have a better idea of why each section of your profile, like that they all have a purpose. Each section has a purpose. It's strategic. So now when you look through these, hopefully you have a better viewpoint. So like Jackie, you can see Jackie is using the option within Instagram to put multiple links, right? Because she's got this one and one other. Virginia is still just using the link that goes to her website. Same with Holly, it just goes to her website. But they all have some sort of call to action. They tell you a little bit about what they offer, who they're working with, or what the outcome is. Even if they're not telling you exactly who they work with, they're telling you the outcome that their ideal client would be looking for. They have highlights. What were each of the sections that are SEO? Okay, yeah. So the name field, and all that is in, so in your workbook that's in the portal. So you just go to emilytassone.com, and when you log in and go into Attraction Equation, under week 2 is your workbook, and all that, it's all detailed out step by step, and we'll give you that reminder in there as well when you pull the workbook up. But yes, the name field right here is the one that is, like some of what you have in here might help you to show up in the search function, but what is in your name field is the gold ticket to show up in somebody's search field. And then your username field will also show up in the search field. So you want to make sure that, again, this one is like your name or your business name, and this one tells a little bit more about the keywords you would use to describe what you do so your ideal client can find you. Again, there's a call to action. Sydney also is using the Instagram option to link multiple links, to list multiple links. Call to action, free Instagram checklist, DM for business coaching. Now, I will say I don't recommend this be your call to action, DM me for business coaching, unless you have a huge, very engaged following. Lauren has, I mean, she's just like off the chain with her. I mean, she can say that and people will just DM her. Until you get to a place where you have that kind of rapport with your audience, the call to action should be to lead them to get something for free or discounted so that you can continue to build that rapport and that connection with them. You can keep the covers for your highlights very simple. If you have a beautiful logo, so like Katie, you have a beautiful logo, you could just use that one, like one version of your logo on every single highlight bubble. Like Maya here, I mean, it's just the same. She has very like simple, like black and off-white, like that's her brand. So like simple, right? And Sydney used different images, different, I guess, icons. Jackie, again, simple. It's just like a part of her, like it's the same picture on each one, right? So you don't have to get too fancy. You want it to be in alignment with your brand if possible, but it doesn't have to be, you know, crazy. Yes. Okay. Thanks for being here, Katie. Good luck. And I hope you feel better. All right. So the homework is update your Instagram profile and then feel free to screenshot it and send it to me. And then if you have any questions about anything that I went over today, don't hesitate to respond back to the wrap up email, to comment in the portal. Yes. Okay. Thanks everyone who was able to be here live. Thank you for taking the time to catch up on this. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. I hope everyone has a great week and we will see you next week.